2014 contestant Sanjay SoodSmith gets down to the nitty-gritty details of what actually goes on behind the scenes on The Apprentice, and as well as revealing the boardroom scene takes a whole day to film. It turns out the contestants don't get a lot of sleep. You get one 10-minute phone call to your friends and family a week, and Lord Sugar isn't on the scene a lot. Advertisement continue reading below. 1. You get a 10-minute phone call once a week to friends and family who have no access to your phone, and get a 10-minute phone call once a week to speak to your family and friends. It's probably on a par with Big Brother. You're in the outside world doing stuff, but the process has to be protected. You're literally cut off from reality. Point 2. You're shut off from any normality. You weren't allowed to talk to family and friends about the tasks or anything related to the process. It's tough. You're only allowed to tell a couple of people you're on the show in the first place. You're in this really confined bubble where you're under huge amounts of pressure from the tasks, but you're equally shut off from any normality. When you finish filming, you're still not allowed to talk about it. Advertisement continue reading below. 3. Some tasks take 5 days to film. You're continuously filming throughout the length of the show. It's back to back. You rarely get a day off. It's a bit shorter than 12 weeks. Some tasks take a day and sometimes more. It's filmed a few months before it actually goes out on air, but you don't know what's happening day to day. Point 4. When the phone goes off in the morning, it genuinely is a surprise. When the phone goes off in the morning, it genuinely is a surprise. Some mornings you might find yourself waking up at 10 a.m. going, "Oh, there's not been a phone call," and realizing you've got the day off. You get the phone call and you have 20 minutes and you've got to be downstairs ready to go during that 20-minute period. 5. Who picks up the phone before the task isn't pre-planned? Who picks up the phone is not a decision, it's who wakes up first to get it. I answered the phone in week 4, and this is really sad. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, "Oh, we haven't had a phone call yet." So I stayed awake and waited until we got that phone call. I wanted my moment answering that phone. Advertisement continue reading below. Advertisement continue reading below. 6. We woke up at 4 a.m. every day. We woke up before 4 and 5 a.m. every day. It really is that early. Some days you wouldn't get in until 12 a.m., and you'd be up again at the crack of dawn ready to do everything again. It was physically exhausting, but also it was just mentally exhausting, because a lot of the time you just couldn't sleep. You're just going over what happened in that day. You're going over, how am I going to justify that cock-up I made in the boardroom? 7. We weren't supposed to be alone together in the Hussein the house. You're not supposed to be alone together because you're not allowed to talk about the tasks. It's a no-task talking zone, and that's really difficult again because that's what you've been doing. Advertisement continue reading below. You're allowed to talk generally, but you can't give information to the other teams because it might help people out. We watched a lot of Britain's Got Talent, played board games, did some fitness stuff. On the odd day off we got taken shopping or got taken to the cinema, but you weren't allowed to speak to anyone in the outside world. Point 8. With 3 or 4 to a bedroom, you're living on top of each other in the house. The first few weeks it was really hard because, yes, it's an amazing house if there's a family of 5 living there. But if there's 20 of you, 3 or 4 to a room, on top of each other, then it's tough. There's a couple of times when you come back to the boardroom one day and you've been ripping each other to shreds, or you've had a hard time with someone on the task and you've then got to go back and live with them. Advertisement continue reading below. Advertisement continue reading below. 9. Task days were usually 15 hours long. Days were long. Yeah, I'll be starting at 6 a.m. and you'd be lucky to be back in before 9 p.m. They get in some catering for you, so there's some dinner on the table when you get in from your day, and you've got bags of sweets, drinks and crisps in the car trying to keep you going. The first 4 weeks I lost weight whilst I was there. By the end of it, I'd actually put weight on because I was gauging myself with sugary snacks to keep myself going. BBC 10. The camera crew film you getting out the shower in a towel. If you haven't heard the phone ring, often the first you hear of it is when someone's screaming up the stairs, "Guys, we've got to be ready in 20 minutes. There was literally a camera in your face as you're getting out of bed or coming out of a shower in a towel. Advertisement continue reading below. Even though it's a big camera in your face all the time, you're so focused on the job at hand, one little slip up could cost you your place, so you're so focused on it you do forget the cameras are there. Point 11. We never did multiple takes of scenes. It's all as it happens. They don't get you to redo anything. They don't try and tell you what to do. It's all very much they're there to pick up what happens. In the boardroom, it's all done in one take. Lord Sugar doesn't repeat any lines or make anything up or go back and film something because they didn't get it right. It's all just filmed in real time. Point 12. They have to edit the show to make it more entertaining. You're on a task over a period of 45 days, and they've got to squeeze that down into half an hour of footage. I don't feel like anyone got that misrepresented. You go into this process a bit with your eyes open, and you know there's going to be times when you're probably not going to like what you see. Ultimately, you've got to think, did I say that, did I do that, although it might be dramatized a bit. They're got to make an entertaining show at the end of the day. Advertisement continue reading below. Advertisement continue reading below. 13. The boardroom filming takes a full day. So the boardroom filming takes us a full day, and some tasks can take anywhere between 1 and 5 days to film. You've got your first boardroom, and that takes a good couple of hours to go through everything that each team's done, and then you've got your second boardroom where, if you lose, you've got to go off to the loser's cafe, and then you come back and do your second boardroom. If you're in the final 3, you've got to go back in again, and obviously it's edited down, but it's really intense. 14. We went to a couple of different losers' cafes. The Losers' Cafe is in London. It's a short drive from the boardroom. It's a proper builder's cafe, where you go when you know you've lost the task and 2 more people are going back in that boardroom, so you're thrashing it out with each other. This is your opportunity to deflect the blame onto other people. Advertisement continue reading below. 15. We only saw Lord Sugar at the beginning of tasks, and in the boardroom Lord Sugar sets the task off and you see him in the boardroom. That's it. That's why he's got Nick and Karen, or Karen and Claude now, to follow us around and see what we're up to. From his perspective, he hasn't got time to be speaking to us. The whole purpose of the process is to find someone who wants to be his business partner. He's not worried about forming a relationship. 16. But Karen and Claude are there all the time. When I was on it in 2014, it was Nick and Karen, and they were out on every task following us around, and it adds that element of pressure. If they're going to be giving direct feedback, they're watching you and will bring up things that you've said or done in the boardroom. They are there all the time. They do have a chat to you and they do have a laugh sometimes, but the main purpose is for them to observe and watch what we're getting up to.